the time, and what if I believe you? Or what if and what if I could see you like I saw you the whole time? Go on, give it your all tonight. You can say anything you like. I'm not your savior, so far away, blinded by anger, you forgot who to blame. I'll never be your lighthouse in the dust. If I had my way, I'd guide you to the rocks. Go on, give it your all tonight. You can say anything you like. Poison my mind. You'll never be satisfied. Blame the divine. Eventually they'll find the time, and what if I believe you? Or what if I believe you? What if go on, give it your all tonight. You can say anything you like. I'm not your savior, so far away, blinded by anger, you forgot who to blame. I'll never be your lighthouse in the dust. If I had my way, I'd guide you to the rocks. Go on, give it your all tonight. You can say anything you
Welcome to Whiskey Oval _ TV, getting ready for the National Dirt Racing Association as they pull into Cedar Lake Speedway with their limited late models. Lots of drivers here tonight on this Sunday afternoon. 25 plus cars, almost 30 machines. Exactly 30 machines to be exact. Qualifying is underway. Only a 2-minute qualifying session, so that'll end in about 6 seconds. Dylan Perry is the driver that's on top of the charts as of right now. Ryan Underwood, Lucas, Devin, then Robert. That's going to round out the top 5. But Mr. Perry, the number 7 machine, 14.248 is going to be the fastest lap time out there. As heat race number 1 is about to show up there on the racetrack. Here's a championship point standings as of right now. Dylan Perry, he's on starting. He qualified on pole, and he's also on top of the charts here in the championship running. Brooks is P2, Bob Klein 3rd, Ethan 4th, Cannon, Nathan, Ryan Underwood, and then Lucas. That's going to be the top 8 runners in the championship point system. Drivers get into their machines, and they're going to start rolling off. A little bit of race info for Cedar Lake Speedway. Track length 0.29 miles. Temperature is 83 degrees. Altitude is 960. And here we go with the race grid. Dylan Perry, Devin Morgan. They're going to be on the front row. Second row is going to be Austin Hines and Ethan. Jaden P5, Nathan P6. You have Brian, then you have Jamie. Warren and then Cody is going to round out the last row of heat race number 1. So we're stacked up, packed up. Green flag is going to wave. They're going to stand on the loud pedal. We'll see how the dominoes fall at the end of this one. This pair is going to be leading this field around. You have Devin Morgan right there in P2. He slips up there on the apex in that 112 machine. Third place is going to be Ethan. Austin Hines P4 and the 14 machine, or 18 there on the iRacing up there on the scoring tower. Brian Wax. Halfway home to mama this time by only 1 minute into heat race number 1, and Dylan Perry has led all 5 laps, keeping Devin Morgan at bay. Ethan still third, Austin Hines fourth. Fifth place, everybody kind of single filed out. The closest racing out there on the track is Brian Wax, and then Jaden. Jaden trying to get right underneath him, gyro mode. A little bit of contact made. 14 machine trying to hold it straight. The 17 of Jaden trying to help him out a little bit. 2 laps to go now. Dylan Perry absolutely dominating this heat race number 1. One more time around. Cedar Lake Speedway for him. Devin Morgan very comfortable there in P2. He's going to put that right rear tire next to the outside wall. Tessa Waters up there, doesn't really like it. He goes back down to the bottom side in turns 3 and 4. Checker flags on the way for the 7 machine of Dylan Perry. Top 4 drivers advanced out of that. Austin Hines is the last driver to make it in straight to the Mac Daddy show. Everybody else will have to fall down to a lower main. Have to fight their way up. Here's a grid for heat race number 2. Ryan Underwood and Robert Tucker, they're going to be making up the front row. Cannon and Colton will be making up that second row. In the third row is going to be Colson and then Jonathan. Austin is going to be there in P7. Gavin Gardner, driver from Florida, he'll be back in the 8th spot. Travis Montgomery, the 45 machine, he'll be back in 9th place. And TJ Schultz, driver from the Great Lakes State, he'll be rounding out the field there in that 10th spot. Top 4 drivers will advance out of this. Eight laps only. That's all it is. Outside shot here at Cedar Lake Speedway. A lot of drivers like this track. A lot of guys are very fast at this track. And you can see just a gap that they're going to leave behind the pace car. As they come out of turn 2 now, and they're going to slowly work down the backstretch, side by side, wheel to wheel, door to door. Getting ready for the green flag. Ryan Underwood. Robert Tucker make up the front row. Green flag waves. They hit the loud pedal. And we're off to the races. Beating and banging back there for the second place. Cannon trying to make it work down there to the bottom side. A race leader is blinking in and out. And we have one guy up there in the outside wall. That's going to be the number 17 machine and Jonathan Byram way back there. Austin, he's going to grab a tow. He goes into the pits. Jonathan Byram's machine is a little beat up. But he has that thing back under power, and he's going to catch to the tail end of the race field. Gavin Gardner there in the number 20 machine. He's back in P7. Travis Montgomery sits 6th place as of right now. You have Robert Tucker, P4. Colson, Cannon, and then Ryan Underwood. Ryan Underwood blinking in and out quite a bit there with Team VLR. Going to be a single file restart as everyone lines up behind the number 46 machine of Ryan Underwood. Down the backstretch, they slowly roll. Lights on the pace trucks off. They'll be getting the green flag coming out of turn 4. The 46 machine, Ryan Underwood. Back under green flag conditions, back under the loud pedal. As we all race for the top 4 spots, Robert Tucker is in that P4 spot. Colton Malone is on the outside looking in as of right now. The number 8 machine, 27 up there on the scoring tower. We got a spin right there in front of him. And the 22 machine goes out to the outside wall. He backs it right into it. And that's going to be Robert Tucker. He was sitting there in the P3 spot, racing side by side with Colson, I believe. And this thing, I know, I see him flying out there to the outside wall. So inside the bubble, going back to the end of the line now. Remember, there is a time cap on these heat races. It is 5 minutes. It's only 2 more minutes of racing. Here's a replay. Watch that 22 machine. Man, that's pretty tough to call there. Back to live mode, back to race mode we go. Single file restart. That's James Clausen, just like to stream. Much appreciated, James. Heat race number 2, halfway home. We just got to run 4 more laps in exactly 1 minute and 7 seconds, or else he'll end. Ryan Underwood still having connection issues as he blinks in and out once again. 33 machine of Cannon tries to roll the top side. The number 8 machine of Colton Malone. He's up to the P3. Gavin Gardner and Travis Montgomery, they're going to battle it out for this last and final transfer spot. Top 4 advances. 45 machine down to the bottom side. That is going to be Travis Montgomery. A little bit of light blue, a little bit of gold there for his numbers. Gavin Gardner outside looking in. Gavin Gardner gets to his quarter panel. Is it enough? It might be. Travis Montgomery tries to shut the nose on him in turns 1 and 2 as they roar down the backstretch. Limited late models down into turns 3 and 4 now. Travis Montgomery trying to do everything he possibly can. Gavin Gardner going to give it one more look down in turns 1 and 2. Not quite, but here comes Jonathan Byram now. Jonathan Byram trying to make a last-ditch effort down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4 for the last time. Gardner gives him a little push, a little spin of the quarter panel, trying to hold it straight. He gets spun before they start finish line, and the checkered flag waves, and Travis Montgomery is going to finish in the 8th spot. Gavin Gardner finishes in that last transfer. My goodness. Heat race 2 results up there on your screen. And there it is. Ryan Underwood, Cannon, Colton, Gavin is going to finish in that top 4 spot. So he'll go straight to the Mac Daddy. Jonathan, Byram, Colson, Robert, Travis, Austin, and then T.J. Schultz. You seen Jonathan Byron on that blue machine. He got into the picture very late. A last-ditch effort down in turns 3 and 4. Got to the back bumper of Travis Montgomery. Gave him a little bump there. Then Gavin Gardner was there on his quarter panel. Nobody could lift. It was coming to the checkered flag. And that's how that's going to fall. As Andy Piercefield has liked to stream. Much appreciated, Andy. Lucas Ruark, the 25 machine. He's going to be starting on pole. Driver from Georgia. He's sitting in 8th in points right now in the championship points list. Brooks, a double deuce machine. He'll be starting on the outside of the front row. Brooks is actually sitting 2nd place in the championship points. Donnie P3, Carson P4. You have Alan Doronico. And that 109 machine, he's rounding out the top 5. Bo Stencil, the 09 machine, another driver out of Georgia. Then you have Nori, Steven, Joshua, and then Peyton L. Anderson rounding out the race field. Green flag, Lucas back on the loud pedal, and Brooks going to try to hold back 2nd place. We may be 3 wide for a slight bit. And we are back here in the middle part of the racetrack. The 22 machine of Brooks trying to work that middle side. Almost clips the 05 machine of Carson Ruark, but he doesn't though. He's going to fall back to that 4th spot. Race leader right here, ripping the lip around turns 1 and 2. He goes back to almost kind of a slider type of line. He gets a little crossed up. He's thought he was going to bang the outside wall. You have Donnie. He's up to P2 now. He works the bottom side. Here comes Carson Ruark. He is making a hard charge up there to the front side as he gets to the outside of Donnie now in turns 3 and 4. Number 5 machine tries to bang off the cushion there in the apex, and we have absolute chaos back here in the back part of the racetrack. No caution is going to wave, and there we go. Caution is finally going to wave as Brooks, a double douche machine, tries to get that machine all turned around and back under power. Brooks Ruswani was started on the outside of the front row. He slipped back kind of quick to that 4th spot, kind of settled in, and then I don't know exactly what happened, but I do got the replay right here, so we'll figure out what happened. Replays don't lie. That number 22 machine kind of all by himself there. Man, he hits the outside wall. The 09 machine, or the 09 machine came in quite hot. One more time, check this view out. Back to live mode, back to race mode. National Dirt Racing Association. If you guys like to join this league, go check out their Facebook page. A National Dirt Racing Association. NDRA, jumping their Discord, halfway home to Mama. Green flag out. Lucas Ruark trying to have a good points night. He's going to need it. See, puts that right rear tire next to the outside wall, and here we go. Racing is back underway. Alan Duranco, he's trying to make a move up to the front. He's sitting there in that 4th spot. Here comes Bo down to the bottom side now. He's going to slide it up right inside the gap. 3 wide, beating and banging down the backstretch. That's the number 11. That's Joshua. He got stuck right smack dab there in the middle part of the racetrack. He bounced off 2 cars. You have Nori now up to 6th place. Bo, he's up to the battling out. Then we have more chaos. One driver smashes the inside wall, and the yellow flag is going to wave once again with only 2 laps to go. Nori Tipton showing red up on the program. Number 6 machine, 23 there on a shredding paint. And my goodness, he absolutely gets smoked to the outside wall. Check this out, slow-mo. 09 machine just completely misses a corner. Goes all the way through the tires and just did not make the turn whatsoever. Nori got the short end of the stick on that as he's showing out of this race. Gets smoked to the outside wall. Back to live mode, back to race mode. Lucas Rourke, still our race leader. Donnie still in P2. He's going to hit the loud pedal. So the number 7 machine is going to see the green flag once again. 2 laps around Cedar Lake Speedway. The number 7 machine, Lucas Rourke, trying to make it work. Trying to capture that checker flag. Back here in second place, still Donnie Carson. He's trying to make that outside work. Pink Panther there on the quarter panel. And one more time around, Alan Duranco trying to hold that top 4 spot, the last final transfer spot. He gets completely body slammed in turns 3 and 4, drag race to the line. And oh my goodness, Joshua is going to be shown as the 4th place finisher. And Alan Duranco did not seem like he was very happy with that move. Down into turns 3 and 4 for the last time. That is a back-to-back heat races that we've seen. Where contact was made, a little bit of a fender bending. A little rubbins racing. For that last transfer spot. So Alan Duranco, he looks like he'll be starting in 3rd place here in this consolation race. So the LCQ, the B main, whatever you want to call it. As drivers jump into their race cars, into their limited late models. And this is the outside part of the racetrack. That's exactly what the drivers are racing on. Pretty slicked up track, a little bit of grip down there on the bottom side of the racetrack, but not much. Track's gonna get extremely bumpy. We'll see how these drivers handle it, though. So here's gonna be the starting grid. The consolation race for the National Dirt Racing Association. Jaden Krause, the number 10 machine. He'll be on pole with Jonathan Byram to the outside. You have Alan Duranco, the 019 machine, driving out of the Midwest in the P3 with Warren. The 77 machine, another driver out of the Northwest. You have Colson in P5 and Brooks in 6th place. Starting up the 4th row, give it to Nathan Reese and then Robert Tucker. Stephen Brady, and the 00 machine driver out of the Mid-South. He'll be starting in 9th place. Brian Wax in the 18 car, driver out of Ohio. Travis Montgomery back there in 11th place. Bo back there in P12. On down the list we go. Just a couple more. Jamie Hill, Austin Kroger. Peyton L. Anderson, Cody, TJ, and then Nori rounding out the race field. Top 8 drivers will advance out of this thing. As we're stacked up and we're packed up, ready to rock and roll. Alan Duranco, he's going to capture a race lead. Colson P2, and look at this driver, Brooks. He's going to work the middle side. He almost grabbed 2-3 spots in that. That 54 machine of Byram, he did not really like that. Brooks kind of gave him a good shot there in the driver's side door. Both of those drivers are going to get tangled up with each other, and they're going to lose more spots. And the 54 machine, I think he got all the way to his back bumper, and now the 54 is going to get spun around. That's Jonathan Byram. Yellow flag is going to wave as he goes end over end in turns 3 and 4 with multiple cars. So the yellow flag's going to wave for the very first time here tonight. And here's a replay of the crash. Stacy, appreciate the like. A little bit of 4 wide action. And then, man, absolute chaos in turns 3 and 4. Nobody lifting, elbows out racing. Top 8 drivers advance to the A main. Dronko, the race leader, just missed the transfer spot just by about a half a car length, basically just by the front wheels. Looking very strong here in the consolation race. Colson's going to line up to the outside of him there in the 23 machine. You have Warren and then Brooks. The 22 machine of Brooks, he looks extremely quick as well. Green flag waves. Allen's going to step on the loud pedal and back under racing. Side by side, almost a little bit of 3 wide back here. Bo, the 09 machine, puts that right rear tire next to the outside wall. Gives a 14 a little bump, says, come on, guy, let's go. 14, that's going to be Brian Wax. That was right there in front of him, and more chaos up front. And we have one guy flipping right now up on the race hood. Caution is going to wait for the second time with only 2 laps to go. Caution back out on the raceway here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Everyone's going to have to restack them and repack them. And we're going to have to give this one another go. Elbows out racing for the consolation race. Top 8 drivers advance. Everybody wants to advance, obviously. No one wants to end their Sunday afternoon dirt late model race early. Where do we start? Here we go. So watch Brian Wax. That's the driver right in front of the 09 machine. Down the backstretch. Gives him a little bump there. Says, come on, pal, let's go. And then, man, he tries to keep it off the racetrack, but he just couldn't. And drivers had absolutely nowhere to go. So Dronko, he's being scored back here in 12th place. He was our race leader. This is what happened to Dronko. He was sitting back in second place. Another replay, and oh man, spins out the race leader. He goes flipping. So that's what happened there. Back under green flag conditions. So Brooks and Warren, they're going to be side by side coming out of turn 4 with about a lap and a half to go. 77 machine of Warren down to the bottom side part of the racetrack, trying to make it work. He doesn't, though. He's going to fall back to P2, and Brooks, he's going to try to bang off the race cushion, turns 1 and 2, one more time around Cedar Lake. The 45 machine, Travis Montgomery, and we have chaos down here right in front of our race leaders. Right in front of our race leaders. White flag is out. Everybody is wrecking right now in turns 3 and 4. Top 8 drivers advance. And looks like Warren is going to be the last driver in. My goodness. Don't know what'll happen. Absolute chaos in the consolation race.
Tell me a lie to keep me in line. You swear it's a sign, but
So we get ready to rock and roll with the Mac Daddy show. Warm-up is underway. These drivers are going to try to get their setup styled in for the last time. Warm-up is about to be over. Checkered flag is about to wave, and there it goes right there. So breakdown of the championship points system as of right now. Dylan Perry, he's going to be our points leader. Brooks is P2. Bob Klein third. Ethan fourth. Cannon, Nathan, Ryan Underwood, and then you have Lucas rounding out the top 8. That's how the championship points is going to line up as of right now before the Cedar Lake Speedway event is over. We've seen heat race. 1, 2, 3. An absolutely crazy ending to the Constellation race. So as everyone drives or gets into their race machines. Everyone gets into the race machines. We're going Mac Daddy racing. No one cares about qualifying or the heat races or the Constellation. It's all for the marbles right now. So for the Mac Daddy show, here's a grid. For the National Dirt Racing Association, Dylan Perry, the number 7 machine, driving out of Georgia. He'll be on pole with Ryan Underwood with Team VLR, the 46 machine. You have Lucas Ruark back there in that 3rd place, and Devin Morgan rounding out that 2nd row. Making up the 3rd row, give it to Cannon and Donnie. 4th row is going to be Ethan and Colton. 5th row is going to be Carson Ruark and then Austin Hines. Gavin Gardner and then Joshua, driver out of Florida, the number 1 double 1 machine. Rounding out that 12th spot. 13th row is going to be Brooks. Travis Montgomery 14th. You have Nathan Reese and then Robert Tucker back there in 15th and 16th place. Colson 17th, Jamie 18th, you have Bo, and then Warren Simone. Back there in the 77 machine, rounding out the race field. Green flag waves, 50 laps around Cedar Lake Speedway. Caution is going to wave on lap number 3. Caution is going to wave on lap number 3. Multiple cars there in the back part of the racetrack is being shown out of this race. Warren, the double 7 machine, is one of them. It looked like Nathan Reese, I believe, was connected in that mess as well. long race here at Cedar Lake Speedway, but 50 laps around this place with these guys turning the lap times that they are. It won't be that long of a race. Nathan Reese is being shown red, and here we go. 73 machine trying to make it 3 wide for a slight bit. He's down to the bottom side. I think some guy, yep, there we go. The number 11 machine there in front of him, he got spun around, and then just chaos. So Dylan Perry, a race leader, Ryan Underwood, then Devin Morgan rounding out the top 3. Dylan Perry leading the points championship right now. Ryan Underwood is being showed back in 7th place in the points championship, trying to have him a good night, but man, Ryan has been blinking in and out all afternoon long. Devin Morgan with that pro license, he's back to 3rd place. Here we go. Green flag out. As everybody hustles and bustles off the turn 2, down the backstretch, everybody trying to figure out where they belong, trying to jockey for position. If you want the high side, you better get up there. If you want the low side, you better get down there. And Dylan Perry trying to hold off Devin Morgan right now. Morgan did not get the best of runs coming out of turn 2. He's going to try to slide it right on him, up in front of Ryan Underwood. He's going to do it. Ryan Underwood taps the outside wall, and now here comes Donnie. Donnie down to the bottom side. Ryan Underwood could not make anything happen, so Underwood now back to the 3rd place, and he's going to settle in. Donnie, he's going to try to settle in at the P4. He gets crossed up near the apex of that corner. Cannon, the 33 machine, rounding out the top 6, and you have side by side in a bird's nest behind these guys. We work lap 8 of 50, extremely early into this 50-lap run. We have chaos there in the back part of the racetrack, and one driver spun around us, a 45 machine. Of Travis Montgomery. Front end, that front bumper is completely gone. So caution is going to wave for the 2nd time here in the A main show. Gavin Garner's being shown that showing red up on the program. We'll see what happened. Number 18 car, watch him. Gets a little help right there in the quarter panel. Back to light mode, back to race mode. They're going to stack them up and pack them up. Lights on the pace truck is off as they work off at turn 2 right now. 20 drivers still out there on the racetrack. Actually, 18 drivers out there on the racetrack. Austin Hines and Warren is being shown out of this race. So as they are side by side, door to door, wheel to wheel, they're going to take the green flag. Dylan Perry tries a diamond cut off at turn 4. Back on the loud pedal and back under green flag conditions. Everybody works down in turns 3 and 4. Some guys trying to rip the lifts around turns 3 and 4. Try to get a good run side by side, multiple rows deep. Barreling down into turn 1, the 46 machine, Ryan Underwood, he gets glued to the outside wall. Everybody had to check up there on the outside line. Race leader Dylan Perry is still running a very strong race down to the bottom side part of the racetrack. Devin Morgan, he has now moved out there to the high side part of the racetrack, but in turns 3 and 4, he's going to try that middle side. Ryan Underwood still blinking in and out in P3. You have Lucas Ruark rounding out the top 4, but with all sorts of company right there behind him. Race is on for that P4 spot. P4 on back. We are side by side, multiple rows deep, and the caution flag is going to wave, and I hate to see it. Caution back out on the raceway. Gavin Gardner being shown red up on the program once again, back in the back part of the racetrack. And Gavin, goodness gracious, gets hit from behind once again. So back under yellow flag conditions just for the third time here tonight. Still very early on, only on lap 13 of 50, 6 minutes and 40 seconds in to this Mac Daddy show. The question is now, are they going to single file them out, or are we going to double file? Stack them up, back them up. We're about to find out as the lights on the pace truck goes off. Dylan Perry, Devin Morgan, Ryan Underwood. That's going to make up your top 3 spots. And they're going to do a single file restart for restart number 3. Green flag back out. Nathan Reese back here in the 13th spot. The 73 machine driver out of the Mid-South. He's being shown in the 13th row right behind Bo, the 09 machine. You have Carson 11th and Robert Tucker there in front of him for that 10th spot. Gyro mode, and this is exactly what these drivers are feeling around this place. The outside shot here at Cedar Lake Speedway. Here's our race leader. There's Devin Morgan there in second place, still trying to get to the back bumper of that number 7. You have Ryan Underwood third place. That hasn't changed the top 3 whatsoever. Ethan, he's back to 4th place now. Lucas Ruark trying to put the right rear tire next to the outside wall. May have hit the wall once or twice. Last lap times up there on your screen this time by. Our race leader ran a 14.6. Devin Morgan a 14.7. Underwood a 14.7. Best lap time out there on Cedar Lake Speedway. This is our race leader with a 14.337 as we work lap 18 of 50 now. 2 different lines in turns 1 and 2 by our first and second place drivers. They come across the line down in turns 1 and 2. Look at that. They just completely fan out. Completely 2 different lines. Morgan tries to bounce off the cushion. Dylan Perry still being very dedicated down to the bottom side part of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. Lap 20 now. 30 laps to go around Cedar Lake Speedway. So we work our way down the... Oh, no. The caution is going to wave. Caution's going to wave now for the 4th time. Robert Tucker and Bo Stensel's being shown red up on the program. Here's Robert Tucker back here. 17 car. Nothing happened to that guy. So I don't know where the caution was at. Championship points up there on your screen real quick once again. Dylan Perry, Brooks, and Bob Klein. That's your top 3. Single file restart for the 2nd time here tonight. Track is completely gone, completely slicked up. Only 11 minutes and 6 seconds into the A main show. Back under green flag. Dylan Perry steps on the loud pedal. Devin Morgan now trying to may have a little pressure there from behind with Ethan and Ryan Underwood, but not quite Dylan or Devin Morgan. He's going to pull away from him as he puts out third late model next to the outside wall once again. Perry jumps out to a pretty big lead on lap 23, a 1.1 second lead over the race field. Third on back, they're still battling out side by side, Ryan Underwood and Ethan. Down the backstretch, and as they barrel down into turns 3 and 4 now, Ryan Underwood trying to bounce off the race cushion. Up on the high side, he gets a good run. Now Ryan Underwood up to P3. Ethan's still going to be dedicated down on the bottom side part of the racetrack as he slips off the apex just a slight bit. He may want to start working his way next to the outside wall, because here comes Lucas Ruark now to the outside. As they come down into turns of 1 and 2 now, Lucas Ruark trying to follow Ryan Underwood up there to the front part of the racetrack, and Ethan is slowly starting to fall back now. Cannon in 6th place. Colton Malone back in P7. You have Brooks in 8th place. You have Donnie in 9th, and then Carson Ruark rounding out the top 10. Nathan Reese back in 11th place. Gavin Gardner and Joshua, they're going to be side by side for a slight bit down the backstretch. Number 11 machine of Joshua is going to grab it. Gavin Gardner, you have Colson and Jamie Hill, Travis Montgomery, then Bo Stencil rounding out the race field. Top 17 drivers are still on the racetrack. 18th on back is out of this race. So outside shot of the racetrack, here's our race leaders. About a half a straightaway lead for Dylan Perry. Last thing this driver wants to see is a yellow flag. Devin Morgan trying to run him back down. Ryan Underwood still P3. Lucas Ruark top 4 than Ethan. They're in the 5th spot. Had some company with side-by-side action, but the yellow flag is going to wave once again. Best lap time. Still going to be our race leader, though. Dylan Perry with a 14.332, an absolutely blazing of a lap time. Caution back out on the raceway. Travis Montgomery and Jamie Hill. Man, this 45 machine, he's having a rough night tonight. Can't say it hasn't been all of his fault, but man, it's been about four crashes tonight. And he has spun around there, kind of right in front of our race leaders too, as that 7 car and the Devin Morgan's machine. So back to live mode, back to race mode. Number 7 car, and is absolutely looking extremely strong here. Sun is setting though, late part of the afternoon. How will that change the track as a pace truck zooms off the raceway? Back under green flag. Ryan Underwood blinks in and out for a slight bit, and Lucas Ruark is up to the 4th spot. Well, man, we was 3 wide for a slight bit. The 33 machine of Cannon, he made that thing 3 wide, put the 1 car. For the 17 machine, he tapped the outside walls. They're going to be side by side as they barrel down in turns 3. 17 of Ethan trying to work that bottom side part of the Taco Bell machine. He gets to it. He's going to push the 33 car all the way up to the outside wall. And now they're going to be side by side coming across the finish line once again. Down to the turn 1. Cannon trying to crack the top 6. Will he be able to do it? Here's the cockpit mode. Outside of the visor mode. And we're into the grueling part of the race now. Everyone knows what they have. Everyone knows what the track conditions are like. And it is go time now. Lap 34.50 is complete. Devin Morgan still dominating this race. He has led all 34 laps. Devin Morgan now has pressure from Ryan Underwood, and we may have some racing going on for this P2 spot. Ryan Underwood. Looks down to the bottom side. Can he find a little bit of grip down there? Lucas Ruark, though, still trying to lurk there in that 4th spot. Now just kind of buying his time, waiting it all out. As those drivers bang off the outside wall, not once, but twice. And now our race leader of Dylan Perry, he has caught a lap traffic. And that is going to be Jamie Hill all the way to the outside part of the racetrack, right inside the line of Devin Morgan. How will that play out for the 2nd place runners of Ryan Underwood and Devin Morgan? Jamie Hill trying to stay out of the race, or stay out of the race leader's way as they go down in turns 1 and 2 now. Jamie Hill trying to run the middle side part of the racetrack, give the bottom side to Ryan Underwood. Devin Morgan there to the outside, and the green flag, or the yellow flag, is going to wave once again for the 7th time here tonight. And man, Jamie Hill, he was stuck in a pretty tough spot there in that number 5 car. Here's a blimp mode as everyone catches up to the tail end of the race field. So once again, caution is out on the raceway. But man, Ryan Underwood's machine has completely came to life. And here it is. Man, Donnie, he goes wall climbing there in turns 1 and 2, and then he gets smoked there in the quarter panel. He goes spinning, hits the inside wall, backs that thing right on up. Caution is going to wave. Luckily, though, he's still in the green, still in the lead lap, and looks like his car is not in too bad of shape. 46 machine of Ryan Underwood started on the outside of the front row, kind of fell back to 3rd place and has been sitting there uncontested all race long for 39 laps at least. There in the late part of that run, he caught up to the back bumper of Devin Morgan, and man, he put up a very good fight. But can Ryan Underwood, first of all, can his connection hold, and then 2, can he get around Devin Morgan? Here we go, back under green flag. Answers will be questioned here soon. We jump on board with Lucas Ruark. Caution is going to wave once again with 10 laps to go. So back under racing yellow flag conditions, very fast too. Ten laps to go around Cedar Lake Speedway. And honestly, Dylan Perry's machine just absolutely looks too strong. There for the number 7 cars. Led all 39 laps with just about 10 laps to go. Might be 11 whenever we take the green flag, but I think it'll be 10. We're just shy of 20 minutes in. The grueling parts of the race is almost over. 10 laps to go. It is go time for these drivers. Dylan Perry still our championship points leader. Brooks is P2. Bob is P3. Ethan 4th. Cannon 5th. Nathan Reese, Ryan Underwood, and Lucas Ruark. That's going to round out your top 5 points runners. There it is up there on your race screen. So single file restart for the race field. Lights on the pace truck is off. We're back under green flag conditions. Does anybody have anything to say for Dylan Perry? Ryan Underwood, or Devin Morgan, got right to the back bumper of that number 7 machine, but couldn't do nothing with it. But man, he has all sorts of pressure now behind him with the Ryan Underwood. Say barrel down turns 3 and 4 now, coming out of turn 4, trying to find some grip, and here comes Devin Morgan to the outside. Devin Morgan found a little bit of something down there coming out of turn 4, and now he's going to put some pressure on Dylan Perry. Devin Morgan bounced it right off the race cushion down the front straightaway. Give it to Dylan Perry once again. Perry has led all 43 laps, but Devin Morgan, he is trying to make a good charge to the front there on the high side. Dylan Perry's lying down on the bottom, might be going away now. as they are side by side coming across the line. Dylan Perry still being very dedicated down to the bottom side of the racetrack. Kind of slips up a little bit, but a good run off of turn 2. Devin Morgan trying to run that slider line in turns 3 and 4. Hits the cushion, tries to get a good run off. Ryan Underwood still P3. 5 laps to go. A handful of laps around Cedar Lake Speedway. Lucas Ruart, Colton Malone back in P5. Everybody else is just racing. Top 3, throw a blanket over them. Dylan Perry has not went to the high side whatsoever in all 46 laps. He's been down to the inside tires. But Devin Morgan's machine is absolutely hooked up there on the high side, and Ryan Underwood has absolutely nowhere to go. Throw a blanket over the top 3, a little bit of contact for Dylan Perry and Ryan Underwood, and Devin Morgan is our new race leader. 4 laps to go around Cedar Lake Speedway, and we got a race on our hands. Devin Morgan, last time by, led that thing. Ryan Underwood gives Dylan Perry a little bit of a lap tap in turns 3 and 4. And a new race leader of Devin Morgan takes a race lead once again. Ryan Underwood trying to root Dylan Perry right out of the race lead, and that's really going to help Devin Morgan out. 3 laps to go. Might as well say 2 laps to go now. Dylan Perry falls back to P2. Ryan Underwood still trying to get Dylan Perry out of the race lead. And here comes Lucas Ruark there to the outside trying to catch up to these guys. White flag is in hand for the race leader. It's being shown to the race field. Devin Morgan captures the lead with only 4 laps to go. And for the final time down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4, Devin Morgan was in second place all race long, finally found the race lead and has found the checkered flag. Dylan Perry P2, Ryan Underwood with the top 3. Lucas Ruark P4 and Colton Malone rounding out the top 5. Man, what an absolute race we had. Those cautions absolutely killed Dylan Perry. Led almost all the laps instead of the last 4. Devin Morgan was dedicated to the high side almost the entire time. And finally found something up there to make it work. So we jump into the Discord page. We'll try to get an interview with the top 3 drivers. $50 laps is in the books. That took us about 23 minutes and 30 seconds to complete that race. The driver that finished in 3rd place is going to be Ryan Underwood. And Ryan, man, you ran 3rd place almost all race long. And then there to the end part of the race, man, your car absolutely came to life. That is completely my fault. And the driver finished in 3rd place, Ryan Underwood. Ryan, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
Good deal, man. Dude, you finished there. You was running in 3rd place all race long. Your car got hooked up about the halfway point. And man, you was trying to get Dylan Perry out of the way there in the closing laps, but overall, man, you're gonna finish there in that last podium spot.
Oh yeah, I had fun all night. The track was just terrible all night. Also, we should have not carried it over. I think if we would have reset it, it would have been a better racetrack and more racier for the broadcast. So, well, I'm happy with 3rd place finish, but I know the car and me, we were greater in that. But it was really just who could get lucky and find the line first and not destroy their car trying to get to the front.
Multiple different lines was being run, man. High side, bottom side, and then people kind of went back to the high side. What was your fastest line?
Right around the bottom. I damaged my car early in the race, just trying to push the car too hard. So once I got to the bottom, I had a little bit of spoiler damage that was slowing me down trying to get off the corner, but I was still able to catch up with the leaders. But I meant when you're racing 3 wide and it's really slick, you can't really pass. So it was either moved or be moved, and I didn't want to do Dylan like that, so I just tried to settle there for a podium.
And podium spot is what you got, so congratulations on that. 30 drivers entered in tonight, a very strong run for you. You got any shout-outs that you'd like to give?
Congrats to Devin on the win, everybody at Team VLR, CF Performance, CFME Sports, ShopFergie22.com, Majority Speed Shop, and everybody in the car.
Very cool, man. We'll see you next Sunday.
See you.
Ryan Underwood, he's being scored there in that P3 spot. The driver that led most of the laps is going to be Dylan Perry. And man, how was it out there?
It was fun. I mean, me and Devin put on a good race for those last right there at the end until he just got that momentum around the top working and he ran away with it.
Man, I don't believe you went to the high side whatsoever. You had a pretty big gap, almost led it all the laps instead of the last four. Man, looks like the caution flag just kind of killed your night here.
Yeah, from the trend that I've seen, if it stays green, I have a little bit better chance at winning it. But anytime we get these caution after caution, that's whenever it gets interesting.
Was your car just set up for the bottom side, or do you just not like the high side here?
I could have probably moved up there, but you can ask just about anybody that knows me on here and in real life. I'd rather run the bottom than anywhere else.
The
So
second,
I just set it up for the bottom and went with it.
you are the championship points leader as of right now. After tonight, I believe you still will be. What is your outlook for the rest of the races here?
Just keep hoping I can keep my average finish right here between first and second, because I don't, other than my one drop race, I don't think I finished lower than second. So just keep my average finish up and keep knocking them down and see what happens.
Dirt Track of Charlotte is next on the 15th, man. So good luck there. And man, you got any shout outs that you like to give?
I gotta give a shout out to all the guys over at CBR. They helped me this week getting ready for the race. Mashburn Equipment, Andy over at Cool Ray, Phantom, Stealth. I know I'm forgetting some, but just anybody that's helped me just get to racing, it's all been greatly appreciated. Hopefully I can continue doing what I'm doing.
Very cool, man. We'll see you at the Dirt Track of Charlotte next Sunday.
We'll see.
Dylan Perry running in that second place spot, but the driver that's going to capture the checkered flag is going to be Devin Morgan. And man, Morgan, you ran second almost all race long there. That the last four laps, you got that high side of working, and man, you came home with the checkered flag.
Yeah, for a lot of the race, she kind of struggled there in 1 and 2, and she kept getting the right rear quarter panel on top of the wall, and it really hurt us. And that last run, I just kind of settled down and tried to stay off the wall as much as possible, and it ended up being pretty fast up there, and I was able to just momentum race around them.
How's the track conditions out there?
Oh, absolutely terrible. It's always fun. When you go out there for qualifying, it's completely slicked off. But the two races I've ran with this series, they do that. I don't know why. Be better racing and more moving around on the racetrack if they started a little bit more fresh. Be a little bit more entertaining, but it all right, I guess, in the end.
Man, lots of cautions here tonight, and man, you was able to restart there in the second place. Did you learn anything in that last caution to help you out?
Not really. I learned that the bottom was pretty good in 1 and 2. But I was a little bit too tight to be able to run down there, so I just kind of run like a lane off the bottom once I got clear there, and I had a big enough gap. But I just knew that top in 3 and 4 was pretty good, and he was running the tires, so I knew if I could just keep the momentum up, I'd eventually get him.
Very cool, man. Devin Morgan, checkered flag on the way for you, man. You got any shout outs that you like to give?
My mom, my dad, MPM Marketing, Wiley X Glasses. I got to thank Team VLR, teammate Ryan Underwood for some of the setup help there. I was thinking about it too much like a super, so I have a limited. TAC 3 defense. I got to thank Leopina. Y'all guys for putting on broadcasts, and NDRA for putting on this race.
Very cool, man. Hopefully see you next Sunday.
Yes, sir.
Devin Morgan, he's going to be our race winner here for the National Dirt Racing Association. Halfway through the season, Dirt Track at Charlotte, we only got 3 more races left. Dirt Track at Charlotte on the 15th, then they go to Lernerville the 22nd, and then round 8 is going to be a Chili Bowl. They're in Tulsa, Oklahoma, in the Expo building for 125 laps, and that's going to be on the 29th. 602 late models. Cedar Lake tonight, man, and what a race that was there on the closing laps. Devin Morgan ran P2 all race long, and then the last 4 laps, checkered flag awaits for him. And man, look at that track completely slicked off. Dust is flying. Heat races were fun. Heat race 2 and 3, we had crashes for the last podium or for the last transfer spot. Constellation race went absolutely chaos in the middle of turns 3 and 4 on the white flag. But man, 20 drivers made the start and they put on a good show. I think there were 7, maybe 8 cautions all together. Man, that was absolutely a blast to watch. So congratulations to the top 3. Here's the final results one more time. Lucas Rourke's going to be finishing in P4. Colton Malone, P5. You have Ethan as 6. Cannon 7th. Brooks 8th. Bo Stencil, the 09 machine, he's back in 9th. Nathan Reese rounding out the top 10. Colson and Carson back in 11th and 12th. Joshua 13th. Jamie is going to finish in that 14th spot with Travis Montgomery in that 45 car finishing in the top 15. Donnie, Gavin, and Robert Tucker finishing in the 17th and 18th spot. Top 12 drivers finished on the lead lap. 13th on back did not. A couple drivers did not make it all the way to the race end. So that's how that's going to shake out. Points are going to be updated. I'll try to share those. National Dirt Racing Association. Go check them out on Facebook if you guys like to join this action. Top right-hand corner, Cotton Service Center. Much appreciated for being the title sponsor. That's it. It's my sign-off. Everybody, please take care. Stay safe. Stay healthy. What a race. Devin Morgan, Dylan Perry, Ryan Underwood, top 3. We'll be back live Sunday afternoon, 5 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Central. Here and only here on WhiskeyOval_TV, here on Facebook and or YouTube. Until then, everybody, please take care. Stay safe. Enjoy some iRacing, and we'll catch you guys next Sunday afternoon for the National Dirt Racing Association. I got a 410 race for the Nodak Outlaw Sim League coming up tonight at 9 o'clock Central. Hopefully you guys tune in for that. Till then, everyone take care. I'll talk to you soon.